Welcome to the Dark Moon Mystery School, where we journey into the mysteries of the unseen, the wisdom of the ancients, and the depth of our own subconscious. I'm Kate Sylvanus, and in this first episode, we'll explore what the dark moon truly is, what today's new moon in Aquarius means for you, and why understanding these lunar cycles can be a powerful tool for transformation. The moon has long been a symbol of the hidden, the intuitive, the cyclical nature of life. While full moons tend to steal the spotlight with their bright illuminating energy, the dark moon, the final phase of the lunar cycle before the new moon, is where real magic happens. It's the time of release, rest, and setting the stage of what comes next. Today we'll talk about what the dark moon represents and how today's new moon in Aquarius influences us and how you can harness this energy for personal growth. We'll also touch on why reconnecting with the lunar cycles can help you navigate life with more awareness and intention. Let's start by breaking down the concept of the dark moon. This is the period right before the new moon, when the moon is invisible in the sky. Some traditions see this as a time of stillness, introspection, even a kind of death before rebirth. It's when the moon retreats into the darkness, much like we do when we turn inward for deep reflection and meditations. In many mystical traditions, the dark moon is associated with the shadow self, the hidden aspects of our psyche that we often ignore or suppress. This is a time to see them. It's a time for inner work, releasing old patterns and preparing for a fresh start. If the full moon is about culmination and clarity, the dark moon is about surrender and renewal. With the new moon in Aquarius, it's time for radical change. So as we see around the world today, there is massive radical change going on. So what makes today's dark moon and new moon so special? Well, it's the first of the new year. It's the first dark moon. On January 29th, 2025, we have new moon in Aquarius, a sign known for its innovation, rebellion, and forward-thinking energy. I'm certainly seeing an awful lot of that reflected in the world around me. Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, the planet of sudden changes, breakthroughs, and unconventional ideas. This means that the lunar cycle is about shaking things up, challenging outdated beliefs, and breaking free of limitations and embracing new ways of thinking. If you've been feeling stuck in a rut or uninspired, this is a powerful time to set your intentions that push you outside your comfort zone. To add to this energy, this new moon is forming a trine with Jupiter in retrograde in Gemini. Jupiter, the planet of expansion and wisdom, is asking us to rethink our perspectives. Since it's in retrograde, we may be visiting old ideas, questioning long-held beliefs, or reconnecting with knowledge that we once overlooked. The combination of Aquarius and Gemini energy is highly intellectual, making this an ideal time for learning, brainstorming, and seeing things from a new perspective. If you've been hesitating to start something new, whether it's a creative project, a new way of thinking, or even a personal transformation, this is your cosmic green light. Why understanding the dark moon is helpful? You may be wondering, why should we even care? What does knowing actually do for us? Well, one of the biggest gifts of working with the lunar cycle is that it aligns us with natural rhythms. Just like the nature moves through cycles, seasons, and especially tides, growth, decay, we all experience our own internal cycles. Tides are mostly water, and we are mostly water. so the lunar rhythms are affecting the water in our very beings. But in a fast-paced world, we're often expected to be in a constant state of productivity, always moving forward, always doing. I get so tired of being overwhelmed by this world. And the dark moon teaches us the importance of pause, reflection, and release. When we take time to acknowledge what needs to be let go, whether it's a toxic habit, an outdated belief, or an emotional burden, we create space for new energy to enter into our lives. I have found that working with the dark moon, you can gain clarity on what actually no longer serves you. You deepen your intuition and your self-awareness, and you set more powerful and aligned intentions for the future. And most of all, get a greater sense of balance in your life when the world is trying to knock you over. When we ignore this phase, we were at risk of carrying old baggage into new cycles. But when we honor it, we step into the next chapter with more clarity and purpose. How many people have just taken on too much right now, overwhelmed with things that they just need to do to make ends meet? Time to sit and just be still as the moons shift and balance us. So how can you practically work with today's dark moon and new moon in Aquarius? There are a few rituals and exercises you can try. And yes, you can say, okay, I've tried this all before. But writing things down really helps. I wrote this. This was my journal, and now it is turning into a podcast. So negative thought forms and patterns, limiting beliefs, emotional wounds, we all have them. Anybody who doesn't is faking it. Burn it up if you have to. Put something on the fire. Fire is a very useful contemplation tool in the dark moons. Since this is an Aquarius new moon, focus on setting attentions around innovation and personal freedom. I want to break free of the system. I don't want to be stuck. I've been feeling stuck for a while. And these dark moon podcasts is my way of breaking free and looking at what outdated beliefs I'm ready to release and how can I step more into something real rather than another mask for another year. So I've started with visualization. I create my inner worlds. I'm creating new versions of myself free from the constraints of the past. I'm tired of all the worries and fears and anxiety and depression and all of that. I'm tired of feeling all of that. And what I'm doing is I'm visualizing something new, something brighter. You could say, is it a fantasy? No, I'm projecting myself into something new, and I'm making way for fresh beginnings. Water. I live by water. I live on water. I am a boater. Water, sitting by water just rinses away so many cares, and it makes you just take a breath and then another one. You can use baths and showers, nice salt bath showers, maybe go down to the beach, even the sound of waves, shift the energy in your space. Since this is a highly intuitive time, pay attention to dreams, synchronicities, or inner nudges, sometimes just connecting up to something bigger inside you. The watcher that just watches, where you have the mental chatter inside. The watcher, your higher self, your God self, your divine self. Maybe connect up to it. The Aquarius energy loves new ideas. So keep a notebook or an audio book handy for something that you want to write down or record. This is a time for you, nobody else, you. Whereas the full moon is outgoing and that's sociable. This is non-sociable. This is introvert time. As I wrap up this first episode, I invite you to take some time today to sit with the energy of the dark moon. What's ready to be released? What new path is calling you? So this is just the beginning of our journey together in the Dark Moon Mystery School. In future episodes, I would like to explore topics like shadow work and ancient mystery traditions, esoteric knowledge, and how to navigate life's deeper mysteries with wisdom and intention. If you enjoyed this episode, please make sure to subscribe and share with anyone who might resonate with this message. You can also follow me on Weaves of Waves on TikTok, weavesofwaves.shop. You can find me at Facebook, Instagram, all the usual places. I'm also doing a newsletter now. But for updates and rituals and more insights to the mystical path, join me here. Thank you for joining me under the dark moon. Until next time, trust the cycles, embrace the unknown, and step boldly into your power.
I hope you're feeling refreshed and relaxed after you've visited your garden of serenity. I hope you've enjoyed this, and we'll go on to the next one in the series.